If there's one thing being really sick with COVID and completely laid out can do for you, it's to make you kind of just pause and think. Think about things that honestly I've been thinking about for a while now, that we've been stewing over, praying over, dealing with frustrations and letdowns and just the overwhelming dread of life. Honestly, that's how it's felt a lot here lately. And not to be a Debbie Downer and caught up in all of that, but when you're constantly dealing with these things, we find the joy and the simple pleasures and all of that. But when, especially, I would say for the past year and a half at least, our life has been defined by so much chaos, uncertainty, glimpses of hope, and then being shot down. And I mean, just stuff like that where you're just like, I can't do it. And so getting ridiculously sick has really got me thinking about a few things. And that's what I want to share today, because I think it's huge. And these conversations we're having as a family, all curled up around the couches because we're all sick and just honestly coming out here and feverish all over again. But we're having these conversations and we're going, there's something to this. And there's something to this for my family, but there's something to this for your family too. And so even if you're feverish and not feeling great, and maybe you put on a blouse to try to feel better, but you're wearing sweatpants on the bottom half, we can come sit down, enjoy the beautiful blooming azaleas, the birds singing, the breeze blowing, and we can talk about a very, very important topic. Come hang out with me. I'm Heidi with Heavenly Minded Home, and we have a video coming out every day this week. Every day this year. We have a video coming out every day this year, and this week we have been just hit with the plague, and it is all caught up to us. We've honestly been sick for 2 full weeks, dealing with my husband's recovery from major surgery for 3, ending up very, very sick for the past 2. And honestly, it feels like there's no end in sight. So we're here and we're hanging on. And I wanted to share a conversation with you guys today. So I drug out a chair to come sit outside, because I've at least made sure to try to get outside at least once a day and get some vitamin D, as we're trying to get over the yuck and trying to feel better. But hear me out. We have been dealing with a lot, and I honestly would say since the sudden and tragic loss of my brother-in-law, January 1st last year, due to suicide, we felt, I mean, we had some stuff leading up to that. He had been living with us. We had been trying to take care of him and help him, and a whole mess. And then it's like from that point, life just hasn't stopped. It's been one thing after another. I mean, we dealt with every plumbing issue you could imagine that lasted for months, last over the summer. I mean, if something wasn't broken, if we weren't broken, right? If it was just one thing after another. And we had all this hope going into the new year. And then in December, that our whole world just came crashing apart, and family drama like you wouldn't believe, and heartache and frustration. And then this year, we're like, all right, we can press through. And then, dealing with just like one problem after another, life just boom, 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 boom. And God has a plan for all of it. And we trust that. And the prayer has just been, just crying out in prayer, Lord, where do you want us? Where's our focus? What do we do? What do we, just where do we go from here? We live by faith. We trust that the Lord will provide for all our needs. We know that to be true. We love where we live, but our house is falling apart. We don't own it. Our landlord would love to sell it. We can't buy it. It just boom, 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 one thing after another. My husband's health just blows up, and we're dealing with that. And now we've got this stupid sickness that we can't seem to get rid of. And guys, I don't sit well. I hate it. I'm not the only person, but I've had to have scheduled C-sections for all of our kids. And my husband hates that time because I can't just sit. I'm up doing stuff and moving and rearranging furniture and all of the stuff. And he's like, for the love, just sit. Like, I can't sit well. So the sickness has me even so sick that it's not even like I'm forcing myself to rest and relax. I'm that sick that that's all I can do. Looking at a screen makes me dizzy. I'm just exhausted. Anytime I do anything, I get feverish all over again. That type of stuff, okay? This is all relevant, I promise. So in all of this time of just sitting, it's forced me, I feel like for the last little bit, to really be thinking about our lives, okay? And I think sometimes we stay so busy, we don't have time to pause and think about our lives. And I would say that even for the past few months, I've really been, Lord, what do you want from us? Something needs to happen. I don't know what it is. Like, there's things we need. There's things that have to be taken care of. There's problems that have to be addressed. Like, what do we do? Where do we go? How do we provide for ourselves, right? Like all of these types of things. And I just keep praying, and Lord, show us a way. Where do we go? What do we do? Right? All of this. Okay. Again, I know I'm kind of delirious and feverish, but I promise I have a point. All of that to say, since surgery for my husband at the end of the month and being sick now, and it just forcing us to stop, just to come to the screeching halt where I can't. No, none of us can do anything. We're literally the kids, all of us, we've just been laid out. So I sit here and I go, what if I've been so focused on the prayer, Lord, how do you want to use us? What do you want from us? What direction, right? I've been so focused on how do we serve? What do we do? Maybe I've missed the point. And God knew that it would take completely knocking us all out to get our attention. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just suggesting. And then my son asked this question yesterday, a couple days ago. I don't know. They've all blurred together into one. My son asked this question. It made me go, He asked me, he said, Mom, you're the one who is the planner, right? You're the one who comes up with the ideas or what the game plan's going to be. I've always been that person for our family, right? What are we going to do? Here's where we want to go to. How do we make it all fit? And he said, do you ever, in those moments of, I don't know what we're going to do, I don't know how to make it all work, like, do you ever just freak out? Like, I know you always make it happen, right? As a wedding planner by trade, you take the big, beautiful image and you make it exist. But he goes, in those moments, do you ever just oh my gosh, game over, man. It's never going to work. Like, lose it. And I said, no, never. Because whatever you've set it to be is what it is. So if in your mind you view it as a work of art, progress, whatever, like if that's what it is in your head, then that's what it is, because you design your own reality. We all do. And if in your head it's just one step in the process, one little kink you're working through or whatever, like, then that's what it is. Life is only ever as bad or dull or stressful or horrible as we allow it to be. So the flip of that would be life is as beautiful and wonderful and just lovely as we imagine it to be. And so the past, week of kind of being good enough that I can at least sit on a chair outside, my husband and I try to come out at least once a day. It's so pathetic. We're not waking up till like 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm like winded after brushing my teeth. Usually by 11 o'clock, we're falling back asleep for a nap. By 1 o'clock, we get up again, and we try to at least like walk outside and like sit in the sunshine. And then we're usually exhausted and we go back inside and go to sleep. But in talking with my husband and walking out here, we're so exhausted, we can't really do anything, but it means that I just sit and I watch the bees and the blooms here, and I notice how the trees are swaying and seeing the fields with the flowers growing, right? All these different little things. And like, I just come out and watch them, because I can't hardly look at a screen without getting nauseous. My head hurts, right? All of the things. So I just kind of watch what's around me. And I go, man, I feel like this happens every year where we come out and we go, our yard is so beautiful. I hate that I can hear the road. That makes me very upset. So I pop in an earbud and I listen to some beautiful composition and I go, okay, this sounds so much better. But there's beauty everywhere. And that's the point of this, is that life is as beautiful as we choose to see it to be. I can enjoy the elegant little touches of life that make it better. I can pull out a 25-cent piece of china that I got from a thrift store and set some blackberries on it and sit down and eat that. And just, I know it's silly, but I can romanticize that moment. A pretty plate with some fresh fruit. I don't have much of an appetite still. I still don't really have much taste, but like, I can sit down and I can just enjoy that. I can romanticize that moment, because reality is what we create it to be. I can look at it and go, I can be grumpy. I still don't have any taste. I don't feel good. My house is a wreck, right? And those frustrating feelings, they build up, and then you start letting the negative ones in, and then more negative ones grow, and it's just a whole process. Or I can find these simple, little, elegant, joyful, beautiful moments all around me and say, look at these blooms out my window. I can pull out a pretty plate and put some fruit on it and enjoy just, oh my gosh, what a simple little pleasure. I can sit outside in a blouse and a pair of sweatpants and watch my kids sway on the tree swing. Like, there's a joy in that. There's a pleasure in that. There's something beautiful in that. And the view that I give life to be is the view I'm going to have of life. Because God's created so many beautiful little things all around us, so many simple pleasures for us to take in if we would simply slow down and do so. Sweet friends sent us a goodie get well pack of 2 soft blankets for the hubby and I, and a box with a whole rock painting kit. The girls loved it. I mean, it gave us so much joy today for them to, hubby and I are curled up in our blankies, they pull out their stuff and they created their rocks, and they had the most little beautiful time, and we set them in one of the flower pots. So at night they'll glow, and it just, simple pleasures, simple joys, they go a long way. And how we choose to view something like a rock as now being this priceless piece of art designed by kids we love. It's your perspective, it's your mindset, and how you choose to look at these things. And we can do that with everything in life. Sure, some things difficult, of course they're difficult. Do some tasks have to be taken care of? Yeah, they do. I don't like scrubbing toilets, but I like having clean toilets. So the only thing I can change in that is my perspective. And so if I choose to look at life and say, hey, I don't know what tomorrow brings. I don't know how all the things get fixed. I don't know. But God does. And He's got it. And I trust Him. So if I want to go through my days choosing to see things as elegant and lovely and a blessing and a joy, like if that's how I want to look at life, I can absolutely look at life that way. And if I want to see that and to enjoy that and to take that in, I can cultivate that for my family. And that's what I want to do. Even if it still basically looks like us laying around on the couch and trying to rest and get feeling better, I can choose to see it that way. I can go through my days saying, today's a blessing. And I am going to enjoy it to the fullest. Now, that might look like treating myself to a few blackberries on a pretty piece of china that I absolutely love. Or maybe it looks like more for you. Maybe it doesn't. There's simple little pleasures and simple little joys, and we play a big part into how we see the reality around us. So in all of this rambling, it's to change that perspective, to choose to see the beauty, to choose to see the little pleasures, the little elegances, the little just blessings all around us. And to go through life with those rose-colored goggles on. Is life difficult? Yes. Are there hardships? Yes. Are there? Absolutely. But we can approach those with grace and ease because we know that God above all has them handled. And so maybe instead of being so concerned and prayerful over what my next step is, I can slow down, smell the roses or azaleas, and stroll through each day, soaking up its beauty, soaking up the wonderful things that just are. That when I'm so focused on what's next and what do we do and how do we serve and good, well-meaning things, I miss them. And I don't want to miss them anymore. I want to enjoy it. And I've really been thinking a lot about how we're going to do that. So stay tuned. I'm excited. Because while I still am feeling feverish and my world is not fixed and I got 99 problems and coconut oil can't save all of them, I feel like I'm onto something here. And I think all of us could be. And that's what I hope to get to share more of here soon. So, I think I'm going to sit here. I'm going to watch the bees collect some pollen. I'm going to enjoy the day as it starts to cool down and the sun's starting to go behind the trees. And wait with excited anticipation for the sun to go down so that we can see the kids' rocks glow in the dark. Very excited for that. I'm glad you guys chose to come hang out with us today. Excuse the noisy truck going down the road. If you want a little something else to watch, check out this video right here. Otherwise, prayerfully, for more encouragement to enjoy the little pleasures, be sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, friends.